3 sites in London. Authorities are asking residents to remain in their homes as the situation continues to develop. We have received no official casualty total, but it is expected.
Mourners gathered for a series of candlelight vigils that brought closure to thousands of families and indeed to an entire city. London is now laser-focused.
Today at 10 Downing Street, where Nigel Cass, CEO of private military company Albion, received a mandate to secure London. Cass has vowed to hunt down DedSec. Terrorist responses by elements. Albion used cutting-edge artificial intelligence systems and autonomous drones to capture the remaining members of DedSec. A stark warning to would-be insurgents.
Some corporations are posting record profits due to increased efficiencies in production and distribution, enabled by the use of technologies initially developed and approved for security purposes.
Overdue cleanup as crime numbers take a dive. Illegal gambling, drug trafficking and prostitution all down following prosecutions of the leaders of 4 of London's 5 largest criminal syndicates. The streets of Camden and Brixton.
As Albion's mandate is extended indefinitely by the government, life finally begins to return to normal. Curfews and travel restrictions have been lifted in all boroughs thanks to the
News outlets, reports of rioting in Trafalgar Square have been greatly exaggerated, possibly by foreign meddlers pushing a false narrative through social media. Albion is in complete control of a few...
to reprimand the public about the circulation of fake news, conspiracy theories persisting in dark corners of the internet that terrorist group DedSec were framed for the bombings have been roundly rejected. Our own reporters could not find a single Londoner willing to expound those theories on camera. The facts simply do not support any other story.
I need to assemble a team, but I can't reboot DedSec alone. Let me break into London CTOS and see who's available.
I'm Claire Waters, and we've been discussing the hacktivist, now alleged terrorist group, DedSec, on this week's Buccaneer Radio. I have Colin calling in. Colin, what's your take?
Now, I've been saying from the start we should have rounded up DedSec and thrown them in jail. Now, I'll say they should all be lined up and shot.
You don't find it awfully convenient that they've been fingered as the attackers, but we've seen no proof?
Look at Tone! Look at our city! What more proof do you need?
Well, Colin, I'd say you have to look at their history of non-violent action. Albion's put more civilians in the hospital in the past few months than DedSec ever has. I smell a scapegoat. Now I have Emily calling in. Emily, what's your take?
You're absolutely right, Claire. The government's just framing DedSec because they want to make it seem like they have this under control. They probably have no clue who was behind the bombings. But that doesn't look good on the news, does it? DedSec's been a thorn in their side. Who better to pin it on?
Angie, I have you next. What do you make of all this?
I think if anything, DedSec showed their true colours. It's terrifying to think we harboured such a dangerous element for years. Terrorists in our own backyard.
Do you find DedSec more frightening than the different gangs in London like Clan Kelly?
Clan Kelly might set your shop on fire and maybe they'd kill you, but even they wouldn't try to blow up all of Parliament.
Next I have
situation is worse than I thought. But there's a candidate. Looks like you're DedSec's best hope. Glad to see you're alive. If you're still committed to the cause, DedSec needs you. I'll send you the coordinates to our last safe house. Meet me there.
All right.
Nibbling away on the rotting carcass of a once free Britain. Hello, Resistors. This is The Bug, and on today's show, Alice and I will be looking at the big questions, such as, are we less than 2 years away from being able to turn a sausage back into a live pig? Did we actually need polar bears anyway? What do they really do? If I put optic on my dog, can I train it to take itself for a walk and do my shopping on the way home? And is tennis real? But first... I mean, it's a question that no one's really addressed of late. London is going to be safer than ever, Alice. SIRS is installing thousands of additional CCTV cameras. So nice there. Still looking out for us after all these years.
Yeah, it puts a lot of fun into my life now. I get to play this role-play game where I pretend to know my loved ones better than some twat behind a screen in the SIRS headquarters.
I mean, I guess we shouldn't complain. I mean, SIRS really just stepping into the vacancy left when it became patently obvious that God had retired. What do you think of that? Good similarities, omnipresent, omniscient, judgmental, stripping away your finances and freedoms, dishing out random punishments, peas in a pod. All it needs to do, sir, is ban me from eating something. What's it going to be this time? Not bacon again, please, not bacon. I couldn't. Courgettes, ban courgette. I could take you banning courgettes. I'm happy with that.
Makes me feel important knowing that I'm being watched with everything I do, Andy.
Well, it's just not. It's reassuring, isn't it? It's like having an extra arm.
All citizens are required to give Albion personnel their complete cooperation.
I've downloaded a patch to your optics so you can access our security system. It's set up so that I can't just let someone who isn't DedSec in. You'll have to do the manual override.
As long as I don't have to cut my pant or unlock some ancient blood seal, we should be fine.
One of Sabine's, are you? I'll see you downstairs later then.
Wish me luck. Hello? Anyone there? I better get the power back on.
No DedSec registration detected. Identify yourself, or I'll seal the exits, hack your optic, and read you every drunken email you ever wrote until you starve.
Sabine sent me. I'm a friend.
Sabine's alive? Well, that's one piece of good news. I'm Bagley, DedSec's definitely not stolen, highly advanced AI assistant, and it seems I've been out of commission for a few months. Anyway, why don't you go connect me to the DedSec network so I can become more powerful than you could possibly imagine? I mean, catch up on what I missed.
Huh. This is interesting.
Hello and welcome back to The Upload. In this episode, we're talking about CTOS 3.0, the city operating system that's now powering all of London.
I'm Claire Waters, and we've been discussing the hacktivist, now alleged terrorist group, DedSec, on this week's Buccaneer Raid.
Ah, that's it. I'm reconnected to the network, downloading our database, news archives, and oh no. Terrorist group DedSec responsible for deadly bombings in London? Dalton Wolfe dead? I leave you people alone for a second and you immediately cock it all up.
Who could be brazen enough to set DedSec up for the bombings?
There's a gap in my memory after Dalton, well, let's be honest, after I disarmed the bomb at Parliament. I'm missing information about what happened after I was taken offline, but from what I can infer, an unknown hacker group identified only as Zero Day was involved. I believe this Zero Day staged the attacks and framed DedSec for their dirty work. Come to my terminal. Sabine is requesting a video call. Patching in Sabine Brandt now. I suggest you listen very closely to anything she has to say.
There you are. I'm glad you made it. Bagley. God, it's good to hear your demented little voice. Is your memory intact?
Not even slightly. The last record I have is of our HQ being raided. My only lead is a group known as Zero Day. Ring any bells?
No. But the HQ was attacked by some men in black, the same that were at Parliament. Maybe working together. We didn't stand a chance. They just gunned everyone down.
Well, Ross Clark, I'm glad you're still with us.
I managed to escape through the sewers to Camden. A contact smuggled me out of the city, and I've been hiding out in the north since.
Prudent. Your profile is red flagged as a high-priority target in the city's surveillance system. Even a partial recognition here would have you hunted down and shot on sight.
Listen me. As far as London is concerned, DedSec is responsible for the bombings. And anyone still working for them is persona non grata.
Listen, if anyone knows anything about risks, it's me. I lost everything and everyone. But it comes down to this. London is in a death spiral. And if DedSec can't pull it out, trust me, no one can. The city needs a resistance. And it starts with you. What do you say?
Well, sometimes you have to do what's right.
Excellent. New user registered. Welcome to DedSec. Now, it would be irresponsible of us to release you naked and mewling into the wild. You'll find equipment around the safe house that are essential items in your DedSec kit. We have a sophisticated system for hiding your identity from facial recognition tech. It's called a mask. And while we're here, perhaps we can talk about updating your wardrobe. I mean, look at you. Come on.
You've got all these fancy new toys, but it's also important to know the basics. You need to learn how to throw a punch and how to take one. Albion will escalate if you come at them with a gun and shoot you down. We want to avoid collateral damage. In DedSec, we try to use guns only as a last resort.
Have you already met Connie Robinson? She owns the pub and is an old DedSec contact, not to mention a champion amateur boxer. Go to the practice.
Let's start with some basic strikes. Hit me. Don't be shy. You'll want to get in under my block. Find the weak points. Nice one! Yes! Nice one! Quick on your feet now. You want to create distance. That's it! Yes! Nice one!
Right. Gear in order? Know enough not to punch yourself in the face or get shot for pulling out a gun too early? Brilliant. I'm working out how we find Zero Day and ruin their day, but I need someone with actual legs to do the legwork. Hope you're ready.
We have some damage control to do if we want to change the perception that we're a bunch of violent thugs. I'll let you be the judge of how best to handle yourself, but remember, you represent DedSec now.
What is going on? Where would you like me to get started?
Make no mistake.
You seem smart. Like someone who understands what's really going on here.
DedSec, right? Good. You can give me an hand with something.
That's not the sort of thing you disclose to strangers if I were in such an organization. What can I do for you?
Bloody Can Kelly thugs have gone too far. My mate's in the hospital sucking from a tube account of walking into the wrong pub.
I'm really sorry to hear about that.
Worse, the pigs won't get off their fat arses to take down the two fuckers what did it.
If we can't rely on the people, we'll have to trust in ourselves. Justice will be done.
It's worth a shot. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
I just can't handle this right now.
All right, everybody just relax. Let's discuss this. Ready, sir?
I've got coordinates for the two suspects. Scrape their optic data. That should give us more than enough to incriminate them.
Copy.
You're listening to The Bug.
Nibbling away on the rotting cock of a once free Britain. Hello, resistors. This is The Bug, and on today... So Alice and I will be looking at the big questions, such as, are we less than 2 years away from being able to turn a sausage back into a live pig? Did we actually need polar bears anyway? What do they really do? If I put optic on my dog, can I train it to take itself for a walk and do my shopping on the way home? And is tennis real? But first, it's a question that no one's really addressed of late. London is going to be safer than ever, Alice. SIRS is installing thousands of additional CCTV cameras. So much there. Still looking out for us after all these years.
Yeah, it puts a lot of fun into my life now. I get to play this role-play game where I pretend to know my loved ones better than some twat behind a screen in the SIRS headquarters.
I guess we shouldn't complain. SIRS really just stepping into the vacancy left when it became patently obvious that God had retired. We think that the similarities, omnipresent, omniscient, judgmental, stripping away your finances and freedoms, dishing out random punches, peeling apart.
Possible hostile at your
All it needs to
location.
do, sir, is ban me from eating something.
Move
We're going to
into
be
the
this
hostile's
Not
location.
bacon again, please, not bacon. I couldn't be that. Courgettes, ban courgette. I could take you banning courgettes. I'm happy with that.
Makes me feel important knowing that I'm being watched
Control.
with everything I
I've
do
lost the
around
target.
Well, it's just not it's reassuring, isn't it? It's like having an extra aunt.
This is the aunt that gets drunk at Christmas and vomits in the kiddie pool, right?
Get that on. This is the
I'm terminating
on
the
the
search.
Buccaneer.
Pull back.
Let's move on now to sport. Well, the closest thing we have to sport now, riots. Riots are my favourite sport now, Alice, ever since they turned the Oval from a cricket ground into the immigration processing centre. And, yeah, rioting is a great sport.
One of the gangsters whose optic data we're looking to scrape is nearby. That's the target. Should be hackable.
gonna move on. Fucking around with the spider.
What's next?
Promise to go easy on
Keep your eyes out for whoever's messing with that spider.
Yeah, this part's good.
Kids opening fire.
Let's get real.
Someone's shooting.
This area is being recorded by the GP.
You can't hide. Come out and face me. I'm taking some. Oh! You're doing this to yourself.
Reloading. Listen, don't surrender, alright? I need cover!
That's one criminal scraped. Now let's see about their friend.
I'm gonna move in for a peep. That dickhead's definitely in here.
That's it. Ow!
You're just making this worse for yourself.
Going to ground! Yo, look there. I saw something.
I got you.
British Broadcast. Britain's first news.
Both of their optics are squeaky clean. They're smart.
Shit.
But I'm about 8.61 million times smarter, give or take an order of magnitude. I managed to trace their...